Growing up as a native English speaker, I never noticed the difficulties that ESL learners had comprehending the reading and lessons in English, especially those that seems to be fluent in the language. During my first student teaching, I had an all English speaking first class and did not have to deal with the challenge of teaching non-native English speakers. However, this all changed during my student teaching at Scott Middle School in Denison. I had several ESL and SPED students who had difficulty doing assignments and understanding certain readings. Although the students seemed to follow along with the lectures, when asked a question or when taking a test, the students have difficulty answering the questions. I learned that there is a big difference between social language and academic language. Also, I learned that when given the tools to succeed, language is not a barrier to academic success. When given visuals, graphic organizers, and many examples and synonyms, I noticed that ESL students are much more likely to want to engage in the lesson and will retain much more of the lesson and ultimately do better on the test. When doing a lesson about Federalist and Anti-Federalist, the students struggled with the lesson because they did not have the proper graphic organizer that they could compare the two during the lesson. However, when given a graphic organizer about the 7 principles of government and a lecture with many real-life examples and visuals, the students were very engaged in the lecture and were able to answer all the questions involved during that lesson. During my time student teaching at Scott Middle School, I learned that I needed to diversify my student teaching. I was originally a teacher who taught like how I learned best, but during my teaching, I learned to think of the lessons that would help all types of learners, and especially give support to students who did not read as efficiently as others. I learned that visuals and graphic organizers are simple things that can go a long way in assisting students to better understand the lessons and better succeed in the class.